The summer sun had barely climbed above the roofline of Buckingham Palace when the first tremor of panic shivered through its corridors. A single line of text: Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales will regrettably not attend Royal Ascot 2025, landed in the inbox of a mid-level equerry at 6:07 a.m. It should have registered as a routine scheduling tweak. The event was 12 months away, and royal diaries change all the time. But the name attached to the withdrawal was Catherine's, the monarchy's brightest star, still in the fragile afterglow of her triumphant trooping the colour comeback, and suddenly nothing felt routine. By 6:30, the equerry had forwarded the email to 3 private secretaries. By 7, a WhatsApp group titled Ascot Crisis was pinging like a pinball machine. One aide, normally cool as Arctic steel, typed, "Has she relapsed?" Another responded with the blue flame emoji, the private office shorthand for "We're about to get burned if we guess wrong." Within an hour, hushed meetings convened on every palace floor. Calendars were yanked open, motorcade drafts redlined, and dressers began fretting over whether a year-ahead cancellation might force an entire rota of wardrobe replanning. One footman confessed to smelling phantom disinfectant in the marble halls, as though the hospital rumor were already airborne. The balm of duty. Exactly 12 hours later, Kensington Palace detonated the panic with the calm grace of a field surgeon. A video tribute, minute after minute of archival gold, appeared on the royal social feeds for Armed Forces Day. Shot after shot reminded the kingdom why William and Catherine are the beating heart of modern monarchy: William in flight suit, Catherine in camouflage, William kneeling beside a remembrance cross, Catherine shaking hands with Gurkha veterans, both of them wind-burned, mud-splattered, and utterly persuasive. The short film could have been released on any platform at any time, but aides cued it precisely for that evening, turning it into an emergency flare. Look at her here. Listen to his voiceover. This is not a princess in retreat. This is a future queen temporarily conserving ammunition. The script, narrated by William in measured baritone, thanks soldiers, sailors, airmen and veterans for your courage, your dedication, your sacrifice. Just before the crest faded to black, a still frame of King Charles in his field marshal's cap flashed, and royal watchers gasped at the symbolism: sovereign, heir and future queen held together in a single visual handshake. What the public didn't see. While social media applauded, inside the palace staff were still piecing together why the Ascot withdrawal had caused such profound anxiety. The answer, aides now admit, lies in Catherine's unique role as the monarchy's emotional thermostat. Royal Ascot is the catwalk of confidence. When the princess glides up the course in an open landau, hat tilted, pearls gleaming, she broadcasts the message that the House of Windsor is healthy, stable, and fabulously photogenic. Pull her out of the lineup and the public starts listening for creaks in the floorboards. Chemotherapy is an unpredictable guest. Preventative treatment may leave Catherine radiant 1 week and drained the next. Ascot demands 5 consecutive days of carriage rides, sun, champagne toasts, and canonical photographs. Missing 1 year because of health is understandable. Announcing the miss so far ahead suggests doctors have recommended erring on the side of maximum rest. Palace math is brutal. Every hour Catherine recovers in private must be balanced somewhere else on the public ledger. Her cancellation triggered a cascading equation. Who fills the vacant carriage seat? Which patronages lose a cameo? How will headlines read if the princess skips Ascot, but later manages a shorter engagement? One senior courtier, rarely given to hyperbole, described the 24-hour scramble as more fraught than the day Harry dropped his Netflix trailer. That comparison tells you everything about how precious Catherine's optics have become. The quiet reassurance. To calm the staff grapevine, William ordered what insiders call a deep dive health huddle. 3 physicians, Catherine's private secretary, and 2 trusted equerries dialed into a secure video call. The takeaway, leaked to the Sunday Express: Catherine is responding well, is frustrated but disciplined, and believes forced pauses are part of the cure, not signs of retreat. One physician reportedly emphasized, "She'll do 100 low-profile meetings before she risks a high-profile relapse." Indeed, that same week Catherine chaired, virtually, a planning session for her Royal Foundation's Early Years Initiative, an 80-minute Zoom during which she apparently quizzed researchers on cortisol spikes in toddlers. The call was embargoed from press to keep the focus on substance, not snapshots, but a squeak of intel reached the tabloids. Catherine signed off with "Onwards, team. We are not pressing pause on children's futures." William's protective perimeter. Behind the scenes, William has adopted what aides describe as the castle wall strategy. Every engagement he books serves twin purposes: maintaining visibility for the monarchy, and shielding Catherine from feeling guilty about resting. Additional engagements. He has doubled his solo diary slots, opening a maritime simulator in Cornwall at dawn, touring a Belfast tech hub by lunch, squeezing in a Wales rugby union meeting before supper. Family logistics. He insists on doing the school run himself whenever he's at Windsor, so Catherine can avoid germ-heavy playground gates during chemo. Media calibration. His comms team now pre-negotiates how much photographers can call out questions, aware that shouted rumors about Catherine's health could undermine her resolve. Says one staffer, "He's not just husband protective, he's future queen protective. He'd rather burn through 3 suits a day than let her feel pressured to sprint." A brother 5,000 miles away. As always, the ghost at the feast is Prince Harry. Social users were swift to notice that King Charles's larger Armed Forces Day message, released earlier, did not mention his younger son, despite Harry's Afghanistan tours. Courtiers shrug that the omission wasn't intentional, the statement simply praised our veterans. But the optics echoed loudly. Elder son front and center in the video, younger son absent from both applause and antics. Privately, William has made peace with the fact that the institutional core no longer orbits 2 brothers. A palace insider put it bluntly, he grieves the bond, but governing by nostalgia is not an option. The crown looks forward, even on days it aches. What comes next? The current working plan inside Kensington Palace is called Autumn Constellation. If Catherine's medical markers continue trending upward, expect September, a single, tightly controlled outdoor engagement, likely linked to her early years campaign, where she can greet children without indoor germ exposure. October or November, one evening reception at Buckingham Palace, camera access limited, plenty of exits if fatigue strikes. Christmas, a brief appearance at Sandringham Church, contingent on chemotherapy schedule. Royal Ascot 2025 will therefore remain off the table, but aides say Catherine has penciled a heart emoji next to June 2026 in her personal diary, a silent vow to re-enter that carriage procession when her oncologists give the all-clear. Until then, the palace will continue its tightrope routine, releasing archival footage when public morale needs buoying, quietly cancelling commitments when doctors advise caution, and trusting that the British public understands that true resilience, like true military service, sometimes involves strategic retreat. For now, the royal family's message to the nation remains the one encoded in that Armed Forces Day montage: courage, dedication, sacrifice, and between the frames, patience. So keep your eyes on the royal horizon. The next time you see Catherine sweeping onto a parade ground, or stepping onto Ascot's hallowed turf, you will know the battle behind the scenes has been won. Until that day, every cancelled engagement is simply another strategic maneuver in the longest, most delicate campaign of her life, and the future Queen's quietest, fiercest form of duty.